What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So, Nick, there's this guy, Garry. He's got a lot of steam behind him, coming out of Ireland. And look, he talks, looks, and sounds a lot like another guy from Ireland I know, and that is the notorious one, Conor McGregor. About 10 years Conor's junior. This guy seems to have been brought up under Conor's wing and is fully embracing his new role as Ireland's top prospect right now.
Yeah, and he calls himself the future, and I don't know if that means he's the future of Ireland fighting or just the future of MMA fighting in general, but I'm a big fan. You know, he's 23 years old, really young kid, but handled the microphone well, handled adversity in the octagon well, because, you know, he was kind of losing that round until he got the finish in his UFC debut. And so that made you kind of go, okay, well, welcome to the big leagues, kid, but you know, I'm excited to see what you have in store for us, because at 23 years old, he's got a lot of years to grow, a lot of time to develop those skills, and he's at Sanford MMA, so we know he's getting some good training, and he's under a watchful eye and has the training partners to become a high-level fighter in the UFC. But, man, there's a lot to discover about Garry, and it's kind of funny, you know, Conor McGregor obviously was the guy. He's the guy out of Ireland. He's the guy out of the UK. He's basically the biggest star in the sport. But you know, Garry's and Paddy the Baddy, and there's these new guys that are kind of emerging as the next wave of them, and that you can tell they've all been heavily inspired by Conor, but they're kind of forming their own path as well.
Yeah, these European fighters, and I mean, you can even throw Hamzat into the mix, obviously born in Chechnya, but spent most of his life in Sweden. The European MMA is on fire right now.
Yeah.
I thought Paddy the Baddy is wildly entertaining. Garry,
Ian's a little more handsome than Paddy, no offense to Paddy, but...
Well, you don't like the haircut?
Yeah, no, and I think Conor might even be losing in the looks department to Garry. He's a tall drink of water at 170, 6'3", nice blonde hair combed over to the side. So, yeah.
Sounds like Nick has a bromance with Garry.
Well, the kid's doing all the things right.
He's got 8 wins, 5 of them by TKO, 1 of them by submission, rarely goes to decision, has not tasted defeat yet in his career, exudes confidence. I mean, this guy was in a fight that he almost lost.
Yeah.
And then he got a knockout at 4 minutes and 59 seconds in the first round. Literally at the last second, he got the knockout in a very tough fight against, I believe the guy's name was Mike Williams.
Yeah, something like that.
Very, very, very tough fighter. And Garry was able to come through adversity and rise to the occasion, do well on the microphone, as you said. And then he's sitting at the press conference like he just knocked the guy out without getting touched, because he's talking about Hamzat Chimaev in the press conference, saying, look, me and Hamzat are the future. He's a couple years older than me. I need a few more years to build into my frame. We're here to take over, all the same stuff that Conor was saying. And he said, me and Hamzat are going to be in there fighting for that title, and I'm going to knock him out inside of 3 years. So he's making these massive claims like Conor made early in his career. And, you know, if he follows in Conor's footsteps, all of those claims will come to pass. You know, it's not until lately that Conor's not really Mystic Mac anymore, but before he was bang on with his predictions. So if Garry's anything like that, then I think we're in for a treat here.
Yeah, and let's not put the cart before the horse. I don't think he wants anything to do with Hamzat Chimaev anytime
me
soon.
either.
And, you know, it'll be a while. I do see them as being big names in the sport. Hamzat's obviously going to be a mega star. He's going to be a champion in the UFC. That's as clear as day.
Already has more Instagram followers by 100,000 than Kamaru Usman, if you can believe that.
Yeah, and he's catching wind, man. As soon as he gets a title fight and the world gets to see like an embedded and a countdown that has to do with all things Hamzat Chimaev, he's going to just blow up even further. So I think Hamzat's just kind of just on a rise, unlike anybody we've ever seen. Conor McGregor, Brock Lesnar, but then that's pretty much the only company that's up there with him. And Garry's got a ways to go, but I would like to see him, you know, get tested and thrown into the deep waters as quickly as possible. Like he's 23 years old. He's got a lot of time to grow, but the UFC is not one of those organizations that's just going to give him 5 fights that they know he's going to win, or give him easy fights and kind of build his confidence. They're going to throw him to the wolves, and hopefully they don't throw him to the wolf, because Boers would eat him for lunch right now.
Yeah.
And I do think it was smart, though, because you can tell he kind of studies the game, not just the kicks and the punches, but the promotional side, the entertainment side, to attach himself to Khamzat Chimaev in his UFC debut was very, very smart. Everybody's talking about Khamzat these days, and nobody thinks or expects him to fight Khamzat Chimaev anytime soon. But the fact that he's saying he's not afraid, he's not going to back down, and eventually will fight him, that was all we need to hear out of you. Okay, well, you're not cowering away. You're not refusing to mention his name. We're not going to give him to you right now because we've got plans for him, and they involve a title. But now that you've mentioned his name, you've kind of planted the seed. We'll give it a few years for it to grow, and then hopefully we'll see a cool match between those two down the road.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like he has taken a page out of McGregor's book in more ways than one.
Yeah, absolutely. The UK is kind of having a brand new, they hit the refresh button, and now we've got Paddy the Baddy, we've got Ian Garry, and like you said, Khamzat and a couple of other big ones on their way around. So I really love when there's like a brash, cool accent speaking fighter that's in there that's not just Conor McGregor.
Yeah, for sure. Ireland, the UK, and all of Europe are on fire right now.
Paul Craig just needs to start ripping hot takes, and then we got it.
Yeah, with submissions.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Drop us a comment and let us know, what do you think about this young guy, Ian Garry? He certainly has a lot of steam behind him and seems to be a potential future star. Let us know, do you think he's going to be Ireland's next big fighter? We always love chatting with you guys in the comments. And if you haven't already, a subscribe to the channel and a like on this video is always much appreciated. And until the next one, have a wonderful day.
Peace.